Welcome to the Backyard Professor Chess videos. I have a lot of interests in my life. Chess is my absolute favorite game. I've decided, it's time I go for my master's rating in chess. I don't have it yet, so I'm going to work toward it. If I understand it right, it's 2250 to 2280. I'm not there yet. But I'm going to video record my process with you. I'm going to show you my journey on what it took me to become a chess master. Along the way, I'm going to give you many, many, many powerful instructions on strategies, tactics, plans, how to watch for a checkmate, etc. I'm going to give you instructional videos, step by step, on how to teach you to think correctly in chess. Most of us think incorrectly on many, many factors. And every chess game has great instruction for us on how to improve our chess. I'm going to show you how to think correctly in chess. I've got a chess course that I've been working my way through. I think it's the most fabulous course in existence. And I'm going to share the ideas and the themes. I'm going to use many, many Grandmaster games to illustrate these themes. I'll do a video commentary on various games. I'm going to show you my games as I win and as I lose, and why I lost, and how to correct your thinking. So let's get started. I've got a couple of games I want to show you. What a great way to start a video series, huh? The first game is a game I lost because I was thinking wrongly about chess. And then the next game, of course, I got sweet revenge. I played the same person. I won the next game. But let me show you how not to play chess. I think that is every bit as vital and important as how to play and win chess. So, here we go. I've got it recorded on my iPod so I can just make each move and show you on my big board, on my instruction board, so hopefully I won't mess this iPod up. Diana was my opponent. She's a very, very good chess player. She opened with a king-pawn opening, e4, I mean. And I did the famous c5 response. So she said, okay, cool. I'm going to move my knight. And of course, I'll explain some of the strategy and theories behind moving your knights as we go along. This is just a basic chess game on how not to play the game. So I move my knight. You can see we're beginning to compete for the center. She goes to, oh, I'm sorry, she didn't do b3, she did c3. She did c3. You can see she's still fighting for more of the center. And I thought, all right, I'll play my queen pawn. Diana then does something that is absolutely wonderful, in my opinion. She presses the d-pawn 2 squares up to d4. Now you can see the fight for the center is becoming really, really strong. I thought, I'm going to pin her knight to the queen. That way her knight can't see. Look at the squares that her knight, her knight is starting to control. This one where the, this white pawn here. Look at these central squares that she's starting to control. I'm going to take that away from her by pinning her knights to her queen so that she cannot move without losing her queen. That was my theory behind, that was my thinking behind that bishop pin. Does Diana react to that? Not at all. She pulls her bishop right out here. And she says, well, I'll pin your knight to your king then. Fine, you're going to play that way? Play that way. I went ahead and took her knight. Now what I was thinking here is exchange the knights for the bishops. Take her knight and give her my bishop, which she promptly did, because I was going to close off the center. That was my thinking. I wanted to close off the center here so that my knights would be better than her bishops. She took my bishop. I went ahead and took a central pawn. I said, nope, I want that pawn. And she said, really? Well, I'm going to take your knight then. And I begin to see this game is getting very interesting as far as the positional factor goes. Now, I retook the bishop with my pawn. Watch what she does next. This was genius of her. She pushed her pawn. I said, oh. Now, had I had my head in this game and not been thinking about something else, I would have exchanged that pawn at this point in time. For whatever reason, I pushed the bishop pawn. And I was thinking, well, I'll have a good pawn structure. I'll have a good pawn chain. And I'm still attacking her center pawn. What'd she do? She pulls her bishop right out to here. She didn't worry about taking a pawn or anything. And I thought, well, her queen is coming over here to my rook, and her bishop. Look at the lines of force here in this diagonal. Queen's going this way. Her bishop's going this way. She's really starting to focus on the queen's side, isn't she? And I'm realizing, I got to do something. So I went ahead and moved my rook over to b8. This gave me the diagonal. Or not the diagonal. This gave me the file. Attacking the weak spot here on b2. And I thought, if she's going to start putting together some kind of an attack, then I'm going to start putting together some kind of a counterattack. And I'm going to get her that way. So that's how this game is developing. What she does next, I should have seriously paid attention to, but I didn't, which is too bad, because it did cost me the game. She castled. Now at this point in time, I was not prepared to castle at all. And what I did is I put my knight on the rim over here at h6. Now my thinking was I was going to pull the knight over to this square here, f5, and begin to control the center. So she did the same thing. She put her knight over there on a3. And I went ahead and took b2. Now at this point I'm thinking, hey, I'm 2 pawns up. I'm winning this game. And I've created a huge weakness on her queen side. So this is a done deal for me. I'm in great shape. And then she hits me with this. I went ahead and pushed a pawn 2. And she pushed her pawn. Now at this point, a pawn on the 6th rank, and I don't have a pawn here. This is my weak square. I don't have a pawn here, so she's occupying my hole. Alarm bells should go off in your head. But they didn't for me, for whatever stupid reason. I'm now officially in trouble here, and I didn't realize it. So what do? I take a pawn again. I take another pawn. Down here, I'm 3 pawns up, and I'm thinking, look at this powerful passed pawn right here. I've only got 2 squares left, and I can queen. She's in trouble. I'm marching down to the rank. Watch what she does. She brings her queen up to c6 and goes check. Do you see why I'm in trouble? And I thought, well, I guess I'll trade queens. I move my queen in to block her check, and she simply goes checkmate because of that e6 pawn. It supports her queen. It eliminates my escape route. I wasn't paying attention. I went to sleep. This entire game, the 2 themes that I think this game illustrates best of all is don't go pawn hunting and castle your king, for crying out loud. You must castle your king. I left my king in the center of the board, and she beat me. So we were laughing about it and teasing each other, and she said, well, let's play another one, Kerry. Let's try to see if we can play another one. So we did. And in this game, I get my sweet revenge. Now, there's some common themes between the first game I just showed you and this game I'm about to show you. We swapped colors, so now I'm white. So I said, all right. E4, Diana answers E5. I go D4, not D5. Diana brings her knight out. Always a good idea to bring your knights out. I went ahead and pushed my pawn this time to put pressure on her knight. I thought, you know, I'm going to kind of shake her up a little bit and see what she does. She puts her knight back here to E7. I then bring my knight out. She directly confronts my pawn with the C6 pawn move. I didn't worry about that. I brought my bishop out behind my pawn. She brings her other knight out. Now you can see there's a rumble for the center here, can't you? And I went ahead and took this pawn. Do you see what I'm leading up to right now? I'll show you here in a sec. So she retakes the pawn on C6. She retakes. And I thought, aha, I'm going to grab me another pawn, but this time it has a good purpose. I'm not just pawn hunting. I'm seeing if she sees it. Now, she confessed to me that when she saw me take her other pawn, she thought, well, I've got to keep my material even. So she went ahead and took my pawn. She responded in like. I took her pawn with my knight. She took my pawn with her knight. But now do you see the problem? At this point in time, I simply brought my bishop up here. Checkmate. 8 moves, I got my revenge. These two games illustrate a common theme. Pawn hunting in the opening is not the way to play chess. She didn't castle her king, and I beat her by the checkmate by going right up the middle. Just as in the previous game, I didn't castle my king, and she came and checkmated me right up through the middle. This is how not to play chess. I'm looking forward in the next video to begin showing you some ideas on a system that I have found has improved my rating points by several hundred points. And I'm very excited to get that to you. So I'll see you on the next video of chess. Happy checkmating.